Patel responding to a viral video that has raised even more concerns about Minnesota's massive fraud scandal. The video showing misspelled signs, locked doors, empty classrooms even at a Minneapolis daycare center. Now, the state allegedly has also given the center millions in funding. Connor Hansen live in New York City with the latest on that for us. Hey, Connor.
Hi, Kevin. Well, for years now, there have been allegations of widespread fraud and investigations in Minnesota, but now there's even more scrutiny following a new video that's gone viral coming from an independent journalist visiting daycare centers in the state that are receiving millions, apparently, in tax dollars with no signs of children there. Take a look.
Where's the
Can I
voice?
put my son in a daycare here?
No, I don't know.
Can I speak to someone?
No, I don't know.
No? Yeah, I would like to see if I can put my son Joey here.
Now, 23-year-old journalist Nick Shirley visited one business that couldn't even spell its name correctly with a sign saying Leering Center instead of Learning. Some had blacked out windows and most had no signs of children there on a weekday. The viral video sparking a strong reaction from Vice President J.D. Vance, who wrote, "Politicians like it because they get power, welfare cheats like it because they get rich, but it's a zero-sum game and they're stealing both money and political power from Minnesotans." Earlier this month, Minnesota's assistant U.S. attorney said fraud involving Medicaid services likely reached more than $9 billion.
Oh my goodness. I was trying to avoid I'm gonna keep it real. I was trying to avoid this. I was, because they are, talking a lot about a particular group of people, and we know it's not everybody, but the problem that you're going to see in this video is that their way of living, right, is like they haven't assimilated. And so it's hard to find out what's going on for real and who's doing what, because a lot of them don't want to speak out and, kind of like separate themselves from the people that are actually doing wrong. And so that's kind of the issue that I've seen. But we're going to go far into this.
Fraud is not small. It isn't isolated. The magnitude cannot be overstated. It's a staggering industrial scale fraud.
FBI Director Kash Patel just posted on X saying that might just be the tip of the iceberg. Despite mounting criticism aimed at him from the White House and others, Governor Tim Walz has blamed Republicans for the lack of a solution.
Nobody in the legislature on the Republican side is interested in solving this. My God, it would be the worst thing in the world for them if this is solved like we're doing it here early this year, because then what are they going to run on?
And we've reached out to Governor Walz for comment on that video. No response so far. Kash Patel also warning that possible denaturalization and deep
So, since we got Fox point of view, we have, it's only right that we have to go see what CNN's talking about. It's gonna bog your brain on how they come about what they're about to say, but it's CNN, so we have to be fair and show both sides.
Being done, that no one is being held accountable, that this was just let to run rampant is completely false?
Well, some people have been held accountable, but I think in the opinion of most Republicans, not nearly enough. And truthfully, until somebody in a position of power, until somebody in a position in Minnesota, elected position, who was in charge of administering this or having some oversight over it goes to jail, it's honestly never going to stop. Look what's going on in blue states across the country. $9 billion in Minnesota, $70 billion in fraud in California, cooking the crime stats in Washington, D.C. When is someone in a position of power going to go to jail for the rampant
hold on
fraud?
a second.
You can put all the low-level people in jail you want, but until somebody in charge goes to jail, it won't stop.
So they're like trying to downplay $9 billion in fraud. Once again, I want to state, it's not a Muslim problem, but, and this is what I believe. I believe it's a Minnesota government problem of why they're letting this shit happen, or why this shit why is this happening. And now I'm going to show you why. I'm going to show you why, because there's this guy. His name is Tyler, and he went to Minnesota, and he didn't go there on to the different daycares and stuff like that. It was a different type of investigation, right? And you're going to see something in this video that's going to like make you understand why Scott was talking about what he was talking about, because in this video, Minnesota is an American state. But when you go to Minnesota, you're going to see something that's going to it's going to blow your mind.
Every person in here, they support 10 people, 20 people. So our people is waiting for us.
So you're saying every Somali that lives here is supporting 10 to 20 people back home?
Yes, because
how do you afford that?
We're trying, we're struggling. The people, they're not good. They don't have a place to go.
Okay, so you're one of the first women I've had a conversation with. Why is it so difficult to speak with women?
Because the culture and some people, what's going on now, people, they don't want to talk, It's scary what's going on.
Yeah. Have you heard about some of this welfare fraud in Minnesota recently?
I heard that, but people, they're not same. How many people in America or Somali people?
400 million.
$400 million.
Yeah.
We say 100 people do something mistake.
Yeah.
Then 100,000 people, you say all the thieves.
Sure.
That's wrong.
Yeah.
I've been in America 27 years. I never have any problem. I have my own business. I have my own family. I never have any problems. People like me, do they thief?
Yeah, what did you do, right?
I don't do nothing. We love America. We've been in America. I love it. I respect it.
U.S. flag right there.
Yeah, we keep telling people every day, America is a great country. You need to work the country. You need to obey the law.
Well, thank you so much for giving me a moment of your time. Oh, yes, I can. Yeah, sorry. Do you own this business?
No, but 3 years or 3 years and a half.
Do most people that come here, are they Somali?
Yeah, only Somali.
Only Somali mall. Yeah. And even the customers only Somali?
Yeah, Somali.
This is run by Somalis for Somalis?
Every people
I can come, but typically only Somalis come?
Every country you come here.
How is life in Minneapolis as Somali?
Life is good life.
America good.
America good? Okay.
It's good.
It's good?
Yeah, and I don't have any problem.
Life is beautiful, man.
How large is the Somali community here in Minneapolis?
Oh, too much. Yeah.
It reminds you of home?
Too much, yeah. Back home, Somalia.
Okay.
And when I came here, it was similar. Besides the violence and shit like that. Over here, at least we have the police,
I'm a Jew. I've lived here in the most Somali community in Minneapolis for a while now. Literally never been more welcome anywhere else in the city in my entire life.
We always help each other, and every Ramadan we always fast together. The one thing that we don't have in Somalia is a foundation, and that foundation was kind of built here. From different tribes, we all communicate differently. We have a mall right here. That brings us all together,
I'm got on Duolingo, trying to learn a little bit of Somali. It's nice to live in a neighborhood where there's...
So this is what I want y'all to see, right? He said what nationality was, right? He's from America. I'm guessing born and raised. He's learning the language. Why? Like that does, okay. I'm going to tell you why this is a big deal to me, right? I went to Senegal. That's a country in Africa, right? They speak French there, right? And we had a translator to go with us everywhere because none of us speak French. I could speak like 2 or 3 words. Like at the most. And the reason why I bring this up is because no other country can you just go there and not have to assimilate the language without someone with you, right? To break down the culture, the language. And I find that disrespectful as an American, because if you actually were traveled and you understand other culture, like you just can't go to any other culture or any other country and so I'm gonna just be an American here. No, you have to assimilate. You have to learn a language. You have to pick up the culture. You have to. This is a part of being a part of any other place, right? Being American, you have to assimilate. But when people come here, they don't feel like they have to assimilate. They don't feel like they have to learn a language here in America, and like I said, it's a problem, because if you were to go to Somali, you would be in deep shit, because you would need to know the language, you would need to know the culture, you would need to know where to go, or where not to go. You get what I'm saying? So it's very stupid that liberal people and Americans think this way, because you can't go to their country, you can't go to their country and do that. You can't. Like, literally, you need someone that's from that culture to help you, because everything is completely different, right? Not bad different, just like you're ignorant, right? And so you need someone to keep you from making stupid decisions and saying something stupid and doing something stupid because you don't know. But only in America is okay, where people don't have to learn English, don't have to assimilate to our culture. They can just do whatever they want to do. It's corny, because like I said, you can't do that. You can't do that in any other country. It just does not work.
Another language that is largely spoken. People have told me, like, why would you feel like you need to learn another language when you're in America? And it's like, because there's a lot of people who speak a lot of languages in America.
Being Somali out here for me is like survival, man. Every day I gotta go, you know what I'm saying, look for where to get my bread from, you know what I'm saying? I gotta go out there because I got family who I gotta support, you know?
Is life easier in Somalia or Minneapolis?
It depends on the person, bro. For me, it's almost the same. So I go back and forth, you know, every year.
Can you tell me about some of the clans or tribes that live here in Minneapolis?
There's Majartan, there's Ugaden, there's Gadia, there's Abgal, Hawiya, so there are, and there's, you will know.
Or family for a crime that one person committed. Individuals is
I live in Minneapolis.
Oh, he can't speak for himself?
No.
Okay. Oh, okay. My name's Tyler.
Okay, Tyler, what are you looking for?
To speak to people in Somali community. I want to ask people in Somali community in Minneapolis about Trump trying to revoke the temporary protected status.
But he doesn't have authority. So yeah, I think it's rhetoric. It's not the actual policy.
Do you believe the Somali community is being targeted unfairly?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
I don't understand why he's targeting Somalis. Somalis, like everyone, they are Americans and they have the whole right that each American has. If Mr. Trump wanted my advice, I would tell him, let alone all Americans, especially the Somalis.
I see.
They came here to get a refuge and they got one. They are contributing to the countries.
Good to meet you.
How's it going?
It's going. How are you?
I actually watched your video.
Right on,
I was
man.
like, wait, no
That's
way.
me. You got any thoughts?
Man, it's there's a lot more to it. Honestly, what I believe than what the headlines, the news sensation is. Well, so majority of us aren't under that protective status because we really don't migrate here illegally. Us being on the other side of the world is really not that much of an option. Right here, I think it was around 500 to 700 people, and that group of people aren't even the ones really engaged in anything.
Sure.
So I don't know what it really would solve for.
Do most people here in this community speak English?
Yeah, why not? What I'm speaking now? Am I speaking for Greek? No.
Why are you so revved up right now?
Because of
we came in here pretty civilly, and you're telling him to walk away, and he can't speak, and he's a grown man, right?
He's a mentally ill guy.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I didn't know. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. It's a good call.
Yeah.
Here's what I want to ask. Have you heard about the statewide welfare fraud?
I heard, but
estimated $1 billion+.
I think that one is fake.
You think it's all fake?
Yeah, maybe the small portion is accurate.
Sure.
But I don't think that's not the accurate description for the whole community.
If someone does wrongdoings, I agree that he be punished by law. The publicizing And finger pointing Somalis is not what we like.
A lot of people that work here send a lot of money back home to support the family.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Makes sense.
I know a big portion of Somalia's like GDP comes from remittance, you know, because, you know, there's no economy back there, there's no opportunities.
A lot of the ladies specifically, they say they speak French, then we start speaking French, and then they don't speak French. Then I get the Somali translation, and then they don't speak Somali. I appreciate you, by the way. Now we're having a conversation.
Absolutely.
It's tough to find people to speak to.
Yeah. You know, I think the majority of people, they speak English, but the elderly people, they don't speak English.
Well, that takes time. Somalis came here 30 years ago.
I see.
And 30 years, it's for the history, is small period.
You think 30 years is not enough time?
This is what I'm talking about. We came here 30 years ago. So 30 years and you can't hold a simple conversation with someone in their language, and you live and you are a citizen here. Show me a country where you can go there, live there, get all the benefits of being there, and not have to know how to talk to people that are from there. Show me a country, and I will say I'm wrong. That's insane. 30 years, that's such a little time. No, it's not. The reason why it's not a little bit of time, because human beings don't live that long, bro. We don't live thousands of years. We live maybe 80 years. So that's 3 decades. That's minus like 6 years of my life, right? I'm going to be 36. Like, that's a long time. That's a long time not to learn a language in which you live in a freaking country where everyone speaks that language. That's a long time. If you would have said 2 years, 3 years, of course, yes, that's no time to learn a language. 30 years is a long time to purposely not learn the language. It's crazy.
To assimilate?
I do not agree with the simulation. I wouldn't say good or bad, but it's not be forced people to be assimilated. I can be American and be my own. Amish.
Do you see what I'm saying? I don't have to assimilate. If you were an American, you had to go to Somali, you would have to live like a Somali. Respectfully, because you're in your country. So you have to follow their culture, their traditions, and how they live. You can't be an American and be, well, I'm just going to be an American. No, it doesn't work like that. Like I said before, only in America we allow this goofy shit. This is goofy. This mindset is goofy. It's super goofy and it's disrespectful. Crazy.
And there is some Amish. They know assimilated.
I see. Do you think a commonly shared language would be a reasonable thing to compromise on? Like, let's say we all speak English like you and I do?
I learned English for my own personal interests. I am an engineer. In order to have a job, I must be able to speak English. Who doesn't have an interest, let them have their own language.
You don't think there are any problems with not being able to read, like...
No one is telling these people to give up their language. I live next to people that have their own language, right? They speak their language amongst each other, but I can speak to them. I don't speak their language. No one's telling you to give up your culture. This is it's just so stupid. What we're saying is, when you go to another country, right, you must speak the language. You must follow the laws of that country. That's just what it is. This is some goofy shit. I'm still getting triggered because it's like this dude. But the reason why I'm showing you guys this, and you're gonna see this and how crazy this is. Now, picture this. They are in Minnesota, right? This is a state in America. This sign is not in English, but they're in America. And then what's even worse is that when you look at the sign on the other side, it's not translated to English. So if you are an English speaker in America, in an American state, in an American city, there's a line and there's a sign in a different language, but it's not translated to the language that you speak, even though you speak the language of that's naturally in the country. Insane. It's insane.
Traffic directions or
Yeah, if you look at Somalis living here, who are above 20 or 30 years, all of them, they speak English.
I see.
Yeah.
It's just human nature to sort of
That's
live
human
next to
nature.
people.
White people live to white next. I don't think that's not something unique to the Somali. If you go to the Brooklyn Park, you can see a lot of Haitian or people come from West Africa. That's not bad.
So there's studies that suggest when ethnic groups live together in one densely populated area, that they don't have to assimilate. There's no reason to sort of learn the commonly spoken language like English, for instance, or learn certain cultural norms if they ethnically pool together.
I don't agree that our community disperses. And if we live in one place, in a close place, we will be having a political say. And
now, I want y'all to pay attention to this because this dude is an idiot. I'm gonna be respectful. He's an idiot, right? He's dumb as fuck. I'm gonna tell you why he's dumb as fuck, right? Because Tyler's gonna ask him a question and he's gonna literally just take back everything he just said because he's an idiot. When you're an idiot, you don't understand that you're lying, right? Until someone asks you a question, you realize, oh shit, I just lied, right? He's gonna ask this dude because this man right here, right? He's not from Minnesota. He's from somewhere else, right? He's from Virginia, right? And Tyler's gonna ask him, why did you move here from Virginia? He's a successful man. It seems like he's well educated. Why would you need to move here? And watch what he says with his goofy ass, lying ass.
I would encourage that the Somalis get together and live in one place because the MPs from that area will be Somalis. I came from Virginia previously.
Why from Virginia to Minnesota?
Well, we have more
Somali community?
More the Somali, more power. We have more political power. We can.
Now, people, he said we have more power, but hold on. But didn't he just say that? Hold on. Maybe I'm slow.
Somalis. I came from Virginia.
Hold on. See, this is what I'm saying about these people are just disingenuous. They're full of shit.
For instance, or learn certain cultural norms if they ethnically pool together.
I don't agree that our community disperses. And if we live in one place, in a close place, we will be having a political say. And
we would have a political say. He said we would have a political say, right? Now, watch what he says.
I would encourage that the Somalis get together and live in one place because the MPs from that area will be Somalis. I came from Virginia previously.
Why from Virginia to Minnesota?
Well, we have more
Somali community?
More the Somali, more power. We have more political power. We can have better chances here.
When you think of your identity, does it go religion, nationality, ethnicity? What is the sort of, how is it to be a Muslim Somali American?
In this country, everyone in this country came from somewhere else. We are not the only people who came from somewhere else. When we came here, we were Somalians, Muslims, and now became Americans. So we are Americans, Muslims, and Somalians.
Hey, well, thank you so much for your time, sir. You're very gracious with your time and answers. Have a great day. Thank you.
And again, just creating more division in our community, you know. It's almost like, let me see, how can I word, since that's where they were raised, but, you know, first generation born folks like myself
can
here.
Can we focus on the interview, Pasha? How you doing?
Definitely.
All right, bro.
You,
great to meet you again.
Good luck.
All right. Be safe. See ya. What did the guy in the blue?
So they got chased down with guns and stuff like that. So we don't need to go into that. It just shows you that people are so freaking, they're just stupid. Like, he said in there, I don't agree that people come together that are all one nationality that we're gonna have power. Then he turned around and said, "Well, I moved here from Virginia because there's more Somali, so we have more political power." These people are fucking stupid, man. I'm sorry. It's just good God Almighty. Oh.
Homeland Security are deepening their investigations into alleged fraud involving federal funds in Minnesota. Earlier today, DHS posted several videos on social media of investigators in Minneapolis inspecting what they say are suspected fraud sites, which include daycare centers. CNN law enforcement correspondent Whitney Wild is tracking this development for us. And Whitney, what prompted the Trump administration to escalate these investigations?
Well, it does seem to be in response to this viral video. Right now, what the FBI is saying, it is surging resources into Minnesota. This is just the latest chapter of this sprawling fraud investigation that began in 2022 and has led to more than 75 arrests. Many people are among the Somali community in Minnesota. The FBI Director Kash Patel, again, tweeting today, and it really seemed to be a reaction to this viral video by a YouTube personality named Nick Shirley, which now has more than 115 million views on X, and that number continues to grow. In the video, Shirley says that he's uncovering more fraudulent businesses in the Somali community. That 42-minute video was retweeted by Vice President J.D. Vance and Elon Musk. Director Patel said the FBI has been all over these cases, posting this on X. Even before the public conversation escalated online, the FBI had surged personnel and investigative resources to Minnesota to dismantle large-scale fraud schemes exploiting federal programs. In touting the arrests, Patel said that the FBI believes this is just the tip of a very large iceberg. In several posts Monday, the Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem tweeted that HSI agents are on the ground conducting a massive investigation into these suspected fraud sites, saying this: DHS is on the ground in Minneapolis, going door to door at suspected fraud sites, saying that the American people deserve answers on how their taxpayer money is being used, and arrests when abuse is found. These fraud cases, Phil, have become a major political flashpoint for Republicans, and this has been going on for years. A state audit earlier this year, again, this was just one chapter in this story. A state audit earlier this year found that funds meant for frontline workers in Minneapolis were being scammed away. And Republicans and the administration have begun to target Somali migrants in that state. Today, in a statement to CNN, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz's press office said the governor has worked for years to crack down on fraud and asked the state legislature for more authority to take aggressive action. He has strengthened oversight, including launching investigations into these specific facilities, one of which was already closed. He has hired an outside law firm to audit payments to high-risk programs. He's also shut down the Housing Stabilization Services Program entirely and announced a new statewide program integrity director and supported criminal prosecutions. Phil, this is the latest chapter. We have no indication this story is anywhere close to over. Attorney General Pam Bondi also tweeting that basically saying that this YouTuber, Nick Shirley, showed Americans how sprawling these cases are and that her office is continuing to work on them to try to root out as much fraud as they possibly can, Phil.
Yeah, certainly seems like a lot more to come. Whitney Wild, great reporting. Thanks so much.
This morning, the FBI and Homeland Security say they are surging resources to Minnesota to investigate claims of widespread fraud in the state. The federal crackdown comes just days after a YouTube creator posted a viral video boosted by Vice President J.D. Vance accusing Somali-run child care centers of taking money without actually caring for children. But critics say these accusations are being made without any actual proof and call it a troubling continuation of the Trump administration's targeting of Minnesota's Somali community, who he publicly called garbage.
So they say there's no actual proof. There's no actual proof. Like, if you didn't watch the video, right? Let's just say, because they said there was no proof. There was no proof there was no fraud in Nick Shirley's video. So let's see if it was proof in the video. Let's see.
Somali healthcare businesses at the same address.
And the government knows about this.
The government knows, they're writing the checks. Yeah, the Democrats over there just writing the checks. What has happened is that the Somali community is a very closed community They will not speak to anyone outside the community and talk about what's going on within the community. They vote as a block. And so when you're a politician, you're saying, look, I've got 100,000 people in Minnesota that if I do something for the community, they're going to vote for me. And that's what it's all about, is getting the votes. And then the people here in Minnesota, you hear this term, Minnesota nice. I'm so sick of that term. The people here are so afraid of being called a racist or an Islamophobe. And they're afraid of their own shadow. And I don't understand. This is our future generations are going to have to pay for all this fraud. And they just want to bury their heads in the sand and go on and just not worry about it. Tim Walz saying there's organized crime in Minnesota. What did he do about it? Nothing. You got organized crime? What are you doing? This is the Minnesota law, which mandates that anyone who knows of fraud and is a state employee must report that fraud. It's Minnesota Statute 3.971, Subdivision 9. Not only that, but Walz is also guilty.
So she just this is the reason why I don't take CNN seriously. They just freaking lied. They just lied. They just like, if you watch the video, Nick Shirley's video, the older guy, like, you can tell he put like a lot of time and effort, because he's not just this is not speculation. And then I guess the shock factor is them going door to door and stuff like that. But like, he has the actual paperwork of what's going on. Like, this is not just, they didn't just walk up to random, the way the CNN is making it seem, they just walked up to random buildings that were owned by Somalis and were like just being harassing them. Like, no, he looked up these different buildings. He called out the number of children that were supposed to be in the buildings, and they went to verify if the kids were in the buildings, and it turns out they couldn't find any kids. That's what the whole Nick Shirley video is about. So in the very beginning, they go over the paperwork. I just showed you. They went over the paperwork, right? And then it's like, okay, now we're going to actually see if the paperwork is the paperwork and the reality is the same, right? So they went, and in every place they went to, people, they had a number of children that were supposed to be there, right? They had the number of like money they're supposed to receive because of the quantity of children before they even went into any of these places. So they were in the car showing the amounts of money they were getting, and the kids that were supposed to be in the buildings, right? So when they went there and there was no people there, that's where the shock value came. That's why it went viral, because in the video, the dude did the research, and then Nick Shirley physically went to these places that he did research on and saw no children. That's why it went viral. That's why people are saying it's some BS. So CNN's is capping again. It's irritating. It's irritating.
The misconduct of a public employee. When I look at the world as a whole and I look at fraud, the Twin Cities is ground zero. The fraud is worse here than anywhere else ever in history. Anywhere.
We're going to go confront these people. We're going to go to these daycare centers. We're going to see what's actually happening.
Okay, so we have to be careful because these people are very violent. They're exceptionally violent.
Now, with all of David's evidence, we headed out to the streets of Minneapolis to see how much fraud we could uncover in one afternoon.
Where are we going now?
We're going to a place called Mako Child Care, which actually has another child care registered at the same address called Mini Child Care Center.
So we should see lots of children if there's this child care center, especially if there's two.
The two of them combined are licensed for 120.
And how much money have these child care centers received?
None of those vans have moved in 6 months. None of them. In 2020, one of them received $1.3 million. In 2021, they got $987,000. In 2022, they got $714,000. That's the last I have for that one. And then the other one, $1.604 million in fiscal year 2025. Fiscal year 2024, they got about $800,000, and in fiscal year 2023, they got $904,059. This place right here. Yes.
We're outside of it.
Well, this is actually two daycares are registered here. One of them is Mako, which you see on this sign. The other one is Mini Child Care Center. And between the two of these child care centers, they're pulling in about $3 million a year. And there are no children. Every facility as you go to, the windows will be blocked out so you can't see in. There's nobody here. You won't see a single child at any of these facilities.
There are indeed no windows. All the windows are blacked out right here.
So the reason why I'm showing that, because I know y'all seen that video already. I'm not trying to rehash all that because I know you. I just wanted to show y'all because what she just said was full of shit. Like this random YouTuber just was going to random and harassing these people. No, the guy he linked up with did thorough research. As you can see, he told you the day, the time, how many kids, how much money, and he has a list, right? So this is some bullshit.
Holmes Lebrand joins us now with more on this. Holmes, tell us a little bit more about what has been driving this investigation.
Yeah, so this is a really interesting investigation. It's actually pretty old. A lot of this began under President Joe Biden when they were investigating fraud claims related to COVID relief. So when we talk about a lot of this giant kind of fraud scheme that Director of the FBI Kash Patel also tweeted about, saying that there were 78 indictments so far, 57 convictions, as well as this dismantling of a $250 million fraud scheme. That is an older case than what we're now talking about with this new viral video. So this new viral video is trying to take past claims and kind of make these new claims. These new claims have not been investigated. In fact, Tiki Brown, the commissioner of the Minnesota Department of Children, said that these centers have been visited in the past 6 months and that none of those unannounced visits have.
So, and this, I'll stop right here. So they have been visited. Now, if you watch the video, right? If you watch the video, he just said with his lying ass, they've been visited, right? If you watch the video, right? If you watch this video of them going to the different places, right? What the older man said was, one, all of the places are blacked out, right? There seems to be no one there, right? And they're not going to really talk to you. Now, if you watch the video, that's exactly what happened. And he said that before they even went to any door, because he did the research. It's not like I said before, this is not a harassment. This is not, oh, Somalis are bad. He literally went there and he told us before he even went to any of the doors what was going to happen.
Let's go in.
No.
And the child care center is locked. Should we ring the doorbell? Try to get in, rang the doorbell, nobody showed up. They're open 7 days a week, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. it says here on their sign, yet there's absolutely nobody here. And this building here, right here, has generated millions of dollars, and it seems like business isn't even open right now, and it's a weekday. And if this was a daycare center, it wouldn't just be in some industrialized building. There would be maybe like a playground or something outside, or...
There's no play area for the kids. So where are the kids? Where's anybody? How can there be nobody here? And it's like this every single day. I've never seen a single child here. In 9 years, I've never seen a single child at this building. Right there.
Oh, then now it looks like we already got the Somalis coming through.
Yeah, they're coming. The word's out.
Hello, is this your daycare?
No. Can you tell us why there are no children? Have you ever seen children at this child care center?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Doesn't know if she's ever seen a child here. All right, let's go to the next location.
And the fraud only gets more from here. Make sure you stay till the very end of this video to see exactly how much fraud we find by the time we are done. And before we go to the next location, I want to show you something super interesting about the flags of Minnesota.
And here in Minnesota, if you take a look at the Minnesota state flag, they recently changed it, and it very much so resembles the flag of Somalia. And really quick, I want to tell you guys about the sponsor of this video, Opus Clip. This one is literally 1 block away, and this one's also generated nearly $3 million in the past 3 years. Let's see if there's any children. Let's see if any of the buildings are open. Here we go. All right, we've arrived to ABC Learning Center. All the windows are blacked out. Let's see if anybody is here. This door is locked.
This facility is licensed for 40 children. 0 children. I come by this place 100.
I'm just showing you I'm comparing and contrasting the CNN garbage to what actually happened in the video, because they're making it seem like, oh, this dude was just doing some random shit for YouTube. No. It's not. No, this is like this guy, this older guy was very diligent, right? And what we're saying is something, and I'm not blaming, and this video is not about talking down about Somalis. It's about Tim Walz. It's about the people that are in control of the finance, because this is their fault, right? This is their fault that this is happening. And this is horrible, by the way.
Turned out any fraud, but they are investigating these locations. But again, this is a kind of this past fraud that's still being investigated. In fact, prosecutors are now telling reporters that they're investigating new suspicious billing practices for 14 Medicare funded programs.
Just man, I can't stand these. Just disingenuous. Completely disingenuous.
Ren, thank you so much for that. We spent a lot of time in court. Thank
Shut
you.
up.
I do appreciate. Joining us now, CNN political analyst Jackie Kucinich and senior contributor at Axios, Margaret Talev. Thank you both for being here. Let's start with what's happening in Minnesota. Does this YouTuber's viral video simply kind of give the Trump administration another reason or cover for its crackdown against Somalis, whom Trump did call garbage, who said he wanted out of the country? I will start with you, Margaret.
Well, it certainly is giving fuel to this argument.
So this is the problem. This is the problem with CNN, right? This is the problem with CNN. I hate so much. Right. So Nick Shirley, right? Do you know why he went to Minnesota? Because Trump had made comments about fraud, right? And so it was already percolating in the algorithm. And so because this is what he does, goes to different cities, right? And sees what's going on, that's content for him, right? He happened to run into a guy that was very diligent and did a lot of paperwork and did a lot of investigation already, right? So it was like a match made in heaven. So the problem with this is two things can be true at the same time. Yes, did Donald Trump put a magnifying glass on the fraud in Minnesota? Absolutely did. That's what Donald Trump does, right? He is not one of these presidents that doesn't say exactly what he feels. Whether I agree with that or not, it's not my. We can't say that's how he operates, right? So maybe he said something that was a little bit harsh, and he put these group of people into one kind of frame, right? Which is, Donald Trump does it. I wouldn't do it, but that's how Donald Trump gets down, right? But to sit here and act like this was not an issue is the problem. And then that's where the Republicans can be like, this is why we don't rock with CNN. Two things can be true at the same time. Yes, Donald Trump put a magnifying glass on him, but at the same time, if there was nothing to see, then it would just be him talking shit.
And I think it does demonstrate the sort of increasing power of the sort of creator, news adjacent creators in this space. We're seeing it all over the country, whether it's people who claim political neutrality or are aligned with one side or the other. But I think it is also a big political problem for Tim Walz. I mean, he's running for what would become a historic third four-year term in Minnesota. There's a lot of Republican interest in taking him on, including from figures like Mike Lindell. You can be sure if Tim Walz was the U.S. vice president right now at this moment, that this would be like one of the first, political scandals that he would be dealing with. So there are a lot of moving parts here. But I think for President Trump and the Trump administration, this effort to use this to make broader arguments about scaling back immigration, scaling back refugee status, does run up against this other issue of does he go too far when he makes those points? And in a state like Minnesota, which has been a blue state for quite some time, that's the big question. Will he take it too far? What's the sort of maximal pressure to put on Walz without jumping the shark?
Yeah, Jackie, I do want to talk to you a little bit more about Walz. I mean, there was a huge fraud case that was decided in a federal court where a jury convicted the leader and associate of a now defunct nonprofit. Prosecutors at the time in 2019 called it the nation's largest ever case of pandemic aid fraud. That case just ending in 2025. The head of that nonprofit is not Somali, but her associate was. I mean, how much damage has all of this done to Governor Tim Walz's prospects of potential higher office. Obviously, he is running again for governor, so that's one thing. But then if you look at the national picture as 2028 comes rolling around, what do you make of all this?
So I think you're right with the particularly with the first point there. This is about his reelection campaign right now in 2026, and you know that Minnesota Republicans have taken aim. They've called on him to resign for some of these scandals at this point. Now, the governor's office has said they have made reforms, but ultimately the voters are going to decide if that's enough.
And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to let it play out. I feel, right, it's fair to the Somali community that Tim Walz and the people that are in charge of Minnesota should step down. Because if that happens, right, you can take the blame off the group of people, because the problem is it's the administration, it's the people that are in charge of them. It's not them, because as human beings, we all have individuals in our group that are, going to do, what they're going to do to make money, right? That's illegal, legal, illegal, whatever, right? But people like him allow it to happen. So if he steps down, right, he would take a lot of the venom of what Donald Trump said away from the Somali people. And that's just how I feel about it.
And Margaret's absolutely right. This is a blue state, but it's a governor's office that Republicans absolutely are targeting and want to take back in 2026. And the closer these scandals get to that election day, which we're still, a couple months out, but the closer you do get, the more likely that this could impact what could be a really interesting general election in Minnesota.
The police officer. All right. So I know it was a long video, man, but like CNN just be lying so much, man. That's why I had to go get the original. At first, I wasn't gonna put the original video in here because I know you already saw it, but it's like they started to like make it seem like it was, some BS, and I'm just like, no, the reason why I went viral was because it was very thorough. It was very thorough, right? And even in the video, he breaks down that what he was researching is like 4 different things, right? The transportation, the health care, the adult care, the child care. It's 4, so it's not just some, but anyway, this is CJ. I'm out.